we're gonna talk about some of the physical stress. The first thing I want to talk about is how to regulate your blood sugar. Because when the fat programs are on, you lose the ability to regulate your blood sugar properly. And there's a reason for that, and I'll explain that. But you need to understand that because your body's not functioning the way it normally should, and it causes you to become tired and exhausted and crave junk food. And unless you learn how to manage your blood sugar, you're going to be fighting blind. And it's going to be like you're driving with the emergency brake on. You don't know why you're hungry, why you're tired. Do you ever notice maybe like an hour or two after a meal, you're hungry for something sweet and you're tired? Yes? Yeah, definitely. And around 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock, you're exhausted. Sometimes around 11 o'clock, 11 or 12 o'clock, you really got to have something sweet before lunch. And at the end of the day, before you go to sleep. How many people have that? Yeah? I used to have that. I used to at night I was just so famished. If I didn't eat some sort of brownies, pizza, junk food, something at night, I couldn't go to sleep. So I used to have that too. And that's all intentional. It's an intentional act on your body to actually cause you to gain weight and hold on to weight when your fat programs are on. So you need to understand how to keep your blood sugar stable so that you have more energy and you don't crave junk food, you can make good food choices. And so this first section is really about getting more energy. Energy to deal with some of the other issues in your life that we're going to talk about in the next section, which are some of the mental and emotional issues. Issues regarding either whether it's relationships or career or finding your passion or people that are being mentally or physically abusive in your life. You need energy to deal with that. Energy to be more physically active. So that's what we're going to talk about right now, is how to regulate your blood sugar. It's really, really crucial. And I've explained this. This is stuff that's out there, what I'm telling you now. But the way I've explained it, I've had doctors and nurses at seminars come up to me and say, no one's ever really explained it that way. And so now I get it. So this is my own take on blood sugar and how to keep your blood sugar stable. So the way it works is your body needs to keep a little bit of sugar in your blood at all times. Not too much and not too little. If you have too much sugar in your blood, that can cause nerve damage to your body. If you have too little sugar in your blood, your brain can't function, you become tired, irritable, and it causes you to crave junk food because junk food is the quickest way to get sugar back in. So when your blood sugar falls too low, you're going to make a food choice. You're going to have a craving for the quickest source of sugar. And that's always the worst choice. So throughout the day, your body wants to keep your sugar in your blood in a narrow range, not too high, not too low. And it has ways of keeping your blood sugar not too high and not too low. And this is how it does it. When you eat a meal, your blood sugar goes up, higher than it should be. So if you eat a meal, your blood sugar goes up to here. Now, your body has to lower your blood sugar. The way your body lowers blood sugar is it actually stores the sugar in the cells of your body, in your muscle cells, in your liver cells, in your fat cells. It stores the sugar. If you think about it, you can look at the cells of your body as like a bank account for sugar. So what happens is, your blood sugar goes up after a meal, and your body secretes a hormone called insulin. It's a big one. You need to know about insulin. Most of you probably do. So insulin is a fat storage hormone. The purpose of insulin is to store sugar and fat in your body. And the way it works is this. If this was a cell in your body, insulin goes up to the cell and acts like a key that opens up a little doorway. And so the cell is open now so that sugar can go in and other nutrients. That's insulin's job. It's like this little key that travels through your bloodstream, unlocking cells. And when that happens, all the sugar that's in your bloodstream then gets stored in the cells of your body so your blood sugar goes back down. And when your blood sugar goes back down, your insulin levels go back down. Then, throughout the day, as you're using that sugar, your brain needs it, your muscles need it, as you're using that sugar, your blood sugar goes down again. Now, when your blood sugar goes too low, the exact opposite happens. Your body secretes a different hormone that goes up to your cells and unlocks it and gets the sugar back out. And as it gets the sugar back out, your blood sugar goes up again. So in this way, your body's able to regulate its blood sugar like this. When it gets too high, the insulin comes in and lowers it. When it gets too low, other hormones raise it, like that. And in that way, you can have lots of energy throughout the day. And if you notice, people, when their bodies are functioning properly, more naturally thin people, they have energy throughout the day. And maybe they eat a lot, maybe they don't. Sometimes they miss meals. You know, all those naturally thin people that eat whatever they want, the one thing we never focus on is how many meals they miss. You know, when your body wants to be fat, it's very rare that you miss a meal. You're counting your meals and you're waiting for the next meal, right? You know how many meals you're going to have. You know exactly when you're going to have them and what you're going to have them. It's because you really want them. But when your body's functioning properly, you have a lot of energy and maybe you miss a meal. Maybe you go, and then all of a sudden you miss 2 meals and then you're famished and you eat a lot. It doesn't matter. Because your body can keep the energy flowing properly. But when the fat programs get activated, what happens is your body stops listening to the hormone insulin. You get what's called insulin resistance. Your body stops listening. So what happens is, if this was a cell again and insulin goes up and says, open up, the cell doesn't listen. So the cell doesn't open up, and so your blood sugar doesn't go down. So you eat a meal, your blood sugar goes up, your insulin levels go up, but your blood sugar still doesn't go up because your cells aren't listening to the insulin. And so your body has to produce more and more and more and more insulin to get your blood sugar to go down. So then your blood sugar eventually goes down, but the thing is you've produced so much more insulin than you need, then your insulin levels stay up here. They stay elevated. They don't go down all the way. Now, this is what the key about insulin is, that when your insulin levels are elevated, it stops the other hormones that burn fat, that retrieve the sugar back. It stops them from coming out. Because your body won't let you be in fat storage mode and fat burning mode at the same time. So if insulin is in your system, it will stop the other hormones from coming into your body. You will lose the ability to regain the sugar out of your cells. So it's a little bit like a bank account that you're putting money in that's frozen. You can't get the money back out. And that's what all this excess energy is. It's a frozen bank account. We have all the energy we need to survive as long as we want. We just can't access it. Because you've lost the ability. Because insulin, as a hormone, is stopping the other hormones from being activated. So this is what happens. So you eat a meal, your blood sugar goes up the way it does, right? And then insulin goes way up, way higher than it should be. Eventually, your blood sugar goes back down, but your insulin levels are still activated. So right around here, your body would secrete those other hormones to get your insulin levels, to get your blood sugar to go back up, but it doesn't because insulin's stopping it. So your blood sugar goes down, 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 and you get this blood sugar plummet. And when that happens, that's 11 o'clock, that's 4 o'clock, that's 2 hours after a meal, that's right before you go to sleep. When that happens, you are exhausted. And your body is craving sugar, pizza, chips, junk food, something like you can't imagine. And it's just mechanical. It's not because you're weak, not because you're lazy. It's mechanics. You need sugar, you can't access your sugar. And then so you eat some sort of quick fix, and you get this blood sugar spike. And the blood sugar spike causes your insulin levels to spike. And that insulin spike causes your blood sugar to plummet again. And you're right back down here 2 hours later. And guess what? You're exhausted, you're craving junk food, you spike again. So what happens is you get that first plummet around here, you get a spike, plummet, spike, plummet, spike, plummet, And all day long, you're eating junk food. Every time you get to this point, not because you need energy, not because you need nutrition, simply because you can't access the energy that you're walking around with. And you're just eating all day because your body's not functioning properly. What you need to do is you need to get your body to listen to insulin again. And you need to eat foods that keep your blood sugar stable. So, if you eat foods that keep your blood sugar stable, what happens is your blood sugar stays like this. If you eat foods that cause your blood sugar to spike, it goes like this. So you want to eat foods that keep your blood sugar stable, and you want to get the cells of your body to listen to insulin again. You want your body to become more sensitive to insulin.